Yes, good morning. This morning I requested to make a video of talking about a new CIVIC Type R. I have a FK2 first generations of a V-TEC Turbo CIVIC Type R. This time the Honda makes third generation of its Turbo CIVIC. I have no plan to buy it. That is why I do love my FK2 Civic, so that only the reason why. FK2 Civic is not so fast. The chassis is poor. Engine is excellent. Yes, very powerful. The Honda's Civic Type R engine is more powerful comparing with last evolutions of the 4G 63 engine. The power is excellent, but when you count the circuit lap time, Civic cannot set a good record. Not in my case. I went to the Tsukuba circuit time attack event. It's the most popular and big event. Summon attacks in FK2 or FK8 Civic, but they are not so fast comparing with 20 or 30 years older last evolution. So, uncomparable. Civic cannot exceed the record of last evolution's lap time. It means that it has a margin to rise up the time by chassis development. So that maybe FK8 is faster than FK2, and next one must be faster than FK8. But Civic Type R, normal utility vehicles and evolution models, potential depends on base model, so that if the new generation needs a big utility, if it has a big body, it is a handicap for sports driving. So, which is better or not, I don't know. Yes, I must talk. When I start to talk about Honda, it takes maybe 1 hour or 2 hours. So, what can I say? My first met was the first generation Civic. My father bought the first generation Civic as a utility vehicle. CVCC engine, emission engine, strange emission engine. Very, very attractive model, but it has many weak points. I know that. Yeah. It has an original automatic Honda-matic, and always it has a pointy steer, and the painting is so bad, so bad. The car was red color, but how over 1 year, almost peel off red painting. Stupid car, but very impressive and attractive car. Wow. Yes, and that kind of pedigree is still alive. Yes, I think. I was 20 years old. I bought a A86 Corolla Levin, yes, GT Apex. The rival was the Hondas and Ballard CRX. And it was a single cam, 3 valves, the 1.5 liter. And after that, Honda released the 1.6 engines Civic Si. Yes, it was very fast. It was uncomparable. Comparing with A86, quite fast and quite powerful. It was so. Engine is very good. With a long stroke and a very big torque. Second image was a very fast engine car. I love the FR cars. I'm not interested in the FF cars, so that I have no opportunity to buy or consider to buy the Civic. Always, I'm not interested in the Civic, but and after generation, SEK9 Civic Type R it appears. But in that days, Integra Type R was faster because the engine capacity is different. 200cc is bigger than the Civic Type R. Civic Type R was a 1.6 engine, and the Integra Type R has a 1.8 liters engine. So that many sports car lovers, boys racers, boy in town, is interested only in an Integra Type R. Civic Type R is 1.6 inch and then so fast compared with an Integra Type R. So that I'm not interested in about Civic Type R. And EP3, the image is very mild, and the looks mild, and the performance was mild, so that I'm not interested in. And next one, FN2. I do love styling is my taste. So that I bought an FK2 that's very similar to FN2, a very progressive. I think it is. FN2 has a progressive design. I do love it, but the performance is not so good. FD2, four doors and a sedan type of CIVIC Type R. It has a maybe 9,000 overlap. I don't know. Yes, engine was very attractive, but my first experience of Civic was the first generation. I have an image. The Civic must be a hatchback. Yes, I think. EK9, of course, EK9 and the first generation Civic. Yes, it has an RS type, very fast type. Yes, in 1970s. Yes, and the Civic RS was a very fast model. Yes, yes. Everyone interested in that car in that days. So that the sporty Civic image is, of course, an Civic Si or EK9. I have an image. Civic must be a two-box hatchback, so that the FD2 is an NG for me. Yeah, the styling is not Civic in my image. And after that, FK2 appears, and the reason why FK2 appears, the reason is Luno Megane. Luno gets a Nissan technology, and they made an event to go around the worldwide time attack tour circuit, and of course they come to Honda's Suzuka circuit and make a new record of FF. So yes, they provoked Honda, and the Honda decided to make FK2. Yeah, FK2 Civic Type R to attack the Luno Megane on Nürburgring. The only motivation is to attacking the Luno Megane for Honda. So that in the first generation, 7 minutes and 50 seconds. Yes, it was a record. But Nürburgring is always changing. Yes, and they make closing time or so many difficult conditions. Almost no meaning to compare the time, I think. And there are no hard braking point, and only the high-speed cornering. Road is always waving, so that it needs a very special setting only for the Nürburgring. Some Japanese sports car try to make a good record as a commercial car. Of course, a GTL R35 GTL Nismo is also so that. But the setting is not so good for the Japanese domestic circuit. Yes, on general circuit, Nürburgring spec is too soft. It's not so good ordinary circuit. Almost no meaning Nürburgring spec in Japan, I feel. The Civic Type R and SK2 and the R35 GTR Nismo is the same. It must be good for Nürburgring, but it is no use in Japan. Anyway, and the Civic Type R not so fast. Nürburgring needs a high-speed power. Yes, it has. And FK2 has a very good power on the high-speed area, high-speed ranges. And the very understeer, it must be good for high-speed cornering, but in Japan and the mountain pass or Japanese circuit is not so fast compared with the Lancia Revolution or some the other cars. And the FK8, yes, base model is increased the size and the of course the suspension is different. Yes, I love the rigid suspension. Rigid suspension is very controllable. Yes, always changing the camber. The suspension camber is fixed, is best. Comparing with the AE86 and the new Subaru 86, I do love an AE86. They are very controllable for drifting. So a Subaru 86 is very tricky and not so fun for me to drive that car. AE86 is the best and uncomparable. Yeah, a very good car. Then I don't know the FK8. I have experience to drive the test car on dealer test car. Yeah, not so bad, but the body is very big, just like a crown or a big taxi. Yeah, looks big, so that yeah, I don't like it. FK2 has a very small and low nose, and I can feel the compactness, so that I love the FK2 dry feeling. Not so fast, but I do love it. The FK8 debuted on Tokyo Auto Salon in January. I went to Auto Salon and talked with development manager. He was a very hot person. The founder, Honda Soichiro, has his son, Honda Hirotoshi. Yes, but he failed to succeed to his son, his company. So I don't know the reason why, but as a result, Honda company becomes also workers management. Yes, yes, not a family management. So that every time the developing manager changes and the developing manager deny everything of last model, always. But it's the first time the same developing manager succeeds at two models. Yes, this time. FK2's and the development manager is a different person, but the FK8 and this time CIVIC Type R made by a same developing manager who I talked with Otzaron. Yes, he's a very hot person. And in the days, Honda planned announcement of a new CIVIC Type R FK8 on January in Auto Salon, Tokyo Auto Salon, but the Luno Megan makes a great lap time at Nürburgring. They announced a good lap time on maybe December or like that timing. So maybe a Honda in the days despaired about that. So the Luno Megan becoming so big, and everyone thinks that there are no possibility to make it good draft time of Nürburgring, but everyone thinks so that. But in that timing, on December, only 1 month is to announcement of a new CIVIC Type R, they announced a great time. So Honda's only the motivation is attack the Luno Megan. Yes, in that time, Honda was completely defeated with Luno Megan rough time. I asked him, developing manager, about that. Yes, he was so frustrated, and he couldn't say anything. So yeah, you better hot man, yeah. And only he says, please buy our FK8. Yeah, please sell your FK2 and buy our FK8. He says, yeah, yes, very hot man. He was almost angry about my question. Yeah. Very impressive. That the same person, and yes, making this time. Now it announced the Honda that shows prototype January 2022 Tokyo Auto Salon, but no information. And this month, Honda had an announcement of new CIVIC Type R without a camouflage coloring, but they don't announce the engine spec or something like that. Yeah, circuit lap time or something like that. Yeah. Maybe they are afraid of the Luno's attack. Maybe Honda do not want to announce the spec until they start selling the car. Maybe. To prevent the Luno's attack, maybe. Okay. Anyway, and the car is becoming big. The engine is very excellent. It's easy to increase the power to 400 horsepower. Yes, my FK2 has a 400 horsepower. So that line of models power is not so big problem. It's easy to increase the power. Only the chassis is a problem. Anyway, after all, CIVIC Type R is front engine, front drive. it has a limit to drive fast. The circuit lap time, about circuit lap time, maybe most good competitor is GL Yaris, maybe. Yes, GL Yaris has a very good chassis, but the engine is too small. It's difficult to make a big power. It's almost impossible to make over 400 horsepower. Yes, so that the circuit lap time is very similar to CIVIC Type R, but the contents is different. Yes, cornering and the escaping the starting a big point of corner. Yes, it's faster. Increasing the speed is faster. Reality is faster because it has a affordability system. But the Civic, the traction is so bad, and the starting is and the escaping starting from the gripping point. The increasing the speed is very bad because of the poor traction. But the top end, the power, the engine is very good compared with Lancer Evolution. Civic's engine, V-TEC turbo, is faster than the Lancer Evolution. So that the cornering is GL-Yaris, and the top speed in the Civic Type R, at last, the same level. Yes, it must a good rival, but the competing with each other, not so fun. Yes, content is so different. Cannot make a good fight. The Lancer Evolution is faster than these cars, so it's impossible to catch up with the Lancer Evolution. Civic don't have a good rival, so that only the rival is Civic family. The new Civic Type R comes, it means very fun for me. It's a good burden. That my Civic don't have a good competitor, very boresome, but the new Civic Type R is very good at the bottom. Yeah, bottom. Yeah. Competing with the Honda family. Yes, it's a very good thing. So the new Civic Type R, I welcome it. Yes, for fighting with. Yes, you do family, good family. Anyway, even FK8 is too big for me. Yes, it's not my image of Civic. The compact, two box, hot hatches, and my image. Yes, and so that FK2 is my best. For me, yes, of course, for me, FK2 is the best Civic. Yes, and I love the design and the like FN2, yeah, and the very compact and the hatchback, and then the very good has a good power, and so many weak point. The chassis is very weak, but engine is good. Yes, it's like a rodeo riding car. Yes, but I do love the Civic Type R anyway. It may not be helpful information, but yes, it's my impression of a new type Civic R. Thank you for listening.